Thanks for coming out to the Society for Self-Surveillance. We're talking today about a plan for truly comprehensive surveillance. We're talking about a continuous, real-time, updated archive of human experience. Off-site archival is key. An enormous remote data storage area will be required. Unconscious acquisition is another key. The surveillance information must be automatically uploaded. There must be a breakdown of barriers between man and machine. We must seek to speed up the slow evolution towards the too often dystopian cyborgs of science fiction. Beyond the camera, beyond the confines and subjectivity of a single lens, of a single point of view, all aspects of the human body and surroundings will be recorded. Medical problems will be recorded in real time, the moment they first occur. And never again will we hear that lament, if only we had caught it sooner. What about crime in the near future? What will happen when accountability becomes an inevitability? When all actions are seen, all actions will have consequences. So let's keep an eye on the future. The ultimate surveillance. The final frontier of surveillance. Our thoughts. Our inner thoughts. So I'm standing here in this window. We can see that much from the video. My heart rate, my blood pressure, my GPS coordinates, along with a slew of other information, recorded by custom software, tracking my online and social networking presence in real time. There's a trail of similar information leading up to this moment to provide some context, but is it enough? What am I thinking? I'm hooked up into an electroencephalogram, scanning my brain activity, compressing the data and sending it continuous flow of it to a remote storage facility along with the rest of the information, with the idea that theoretical computers in the future may be able to interpret the data and retroactively make sense of it, my sense of my movements, my actions, my thoughts to a degree, and my life. It seems highly unlikely, though, that even future technology would be able to take something as simple as an EEG or an fMRI and use it to interpret layered, complex, specific individual thoughts. The instrument is likely too dull, the data too vague. Types of thoughts maybe, generalizations perhaps, but that haphazard flow of shockingly complex human thoughts, all jumbled together, all those neurons firing, all those tastes and smells and other senses triggering memories, some that we can't quite place, some that we do, our daydreams, the twisted thoughts we suppress. How will we free those thoughts? How will we surveil them? And so here again we see why self-surveillance is so important. Only we know what is in our minds, and we must express it in the most efficient way that we currently know how, using our language. And so I'm standing here in front of this window. Information about my condition is being gathered, and now to supplement that data that's being passively gathered, I'm going to now restart a practice I've been trying to learn of peppering my normal speech pattern with thoughts that would normally go unspoken. I'm hungry. I keep thinking about a strange-looking woman that passed earlier. I find the movement of the cars past the windows to be jarring. But I'm not quite doing it right. I'm not trying hard enough. I'm still just skimming the surface, and I need to go deeper. Any fleeting thought that I can pluck out, that I can isolate, translate into words before it floats away, no matter how obscure, nonsensical, embarrassing, I have to at least attempt to verbalize it. It takes longer to speak than to think, and much longer to formulate a sentence and articulately express a thought than it does for a neuron to fire. So there will be a significant lag. Only a fraction of thoughts will be fully expressed, but they'll be as fully expressed as possible. And that's all we can do. And so I'm standing here in this window, but I'm also making food in my kitchen tonight, and I see myself making carrot cake. And I'm thinking that maybe I can make a cake at the beginning of each week and eat a slice every day. And that would be great, and I don't have to cook once a week. But I might need a new spatula because I think I might have broken mine. Actually, I know I broke it, but I'm not sure if I threw out both the pieces or if I might still have the two pieces, then I can hold them together and use them as a temporary fix. Now let's talk about those who are against surveillance. There's an effort underway to subvert surveillance in many ways. One effort consists of mapping surveillance cameras and devising alternate routes that could be taken to avoid them altogether. To those people, I would say, you'll find your path narrowing. You are a dying breed. I suggest subverting this attempt at subversion. I suggest using those same maps to make sure that you are kept under surveillance, sure that you travel under a veil of protection. And now I'm mentally mapping my own daily route I'm riding the subway. I'm recalling a vivid daydream I had earlier on the subway when the apocalypse had come. And I wonder if people often look back fondly on daydreams and if it's possible to have nostalgia for a daydream. I'm thinking about a banana split made entirely out of bananas. Bananas through the food processor would be the ice cream, and then just a banana cut in half, just a regular banana on top would be the banana part, of course. That would be easy. And then maybe banana chips as some kind of crumbled banana topping like nuts, and then some kind of banana-based syrup on top. Now let's talk about the critics of surveillance again, the Luddites, that dying breed. They will tell you that you are sacrificing your freedom in exchange for security. In fact, by embracing surveillance, you're sacrificing the security of your privacy, and in exchange, you will gain a brave new freedom. Now, how about a genetically engineered, resealable banana that you could open and close at will? I'd like to eat some of the sausages I bought earlier, but I don't like the texture of the cases, and I'm wondering if I can scrape it off somehow when I get home. Now, you will be monitored. You are already a participant. There is no opting out. So let's talk about the future. We're moving towards a fundamental change in human nature. Move away from our timidity and self-doubt, away from the tragedy of human restraint, away from, towards a freedom to live uncensored. And I realize now that one of the flaws of my daydream earlier was that if there had been a near apocalypse, probably the subway would no longer be running, or it would only be making express stops. And also, if there was an apocalypse, probably we would not be forced at gunpoint to repopulate the species. Probably they just, let it happen naturally, or make test tube babies unless all the scientists were dead, or it was too expensive. Self-surveillance will only reach its true potential when we are all in it together. Now, when I make the decision to surveil myself as fully as technology will allow, thank you, I become vulnerable to those left unwatched. I choose this path because the world needs self-surveillance pioneers. The world needs proponents of radical honesty and the universal participatory panopticon. People brave enough to be among the first to voluntarily opt in to a boundless monitoring system. People brave enough to opt in before it becomes cool, trendy, common, and eventually compulsory and universal. So we're on a path to a humanity with no secrets, no hidden agenda, and yes, I want to move like this, I want to talk like this, I want to use the tropes of the evangelist preacher, those smooth slides and glides of the feet that echo the calculated acrobatics of their word and make you want to believe. Always a winner, always a prize, guys. All our imperfections on full display. Yes, they're chewy. Yes, they're delicious. It's the no cookie cookie. Hidden desires exposed. A spouse with a wandering eye exposed. A thieving employee exposed. A covetous neighbor exposed. Sickening, grotesque fetishes exposed. The thoughts of a depraved, molesting sociopath exposed. All of your secrets exposed. Exposed and placed in the context of the rest of humanity. And no longer seen as personal failings with the requisite moral judgments, but simply as symptoms of a more fully understood and undeniably universal human condition. So don't look at me like I'm a crazy guy yelling things at a street corner. I am yelling things from the middle of a street in front of a building with signs, lots of different signs. The result of such a truly radical honesty will be the recognition by all people everywhere of the gorgeous universality of their flaws. Sleep-torturing birds, root beer-flavored deodorant, a tip jar attached to your clothes, beginning of the week cake failures, human limbs that grow from the garden, the freedom of truth. You are what the world sees. You manipulate their perception. You are what you pretend to be, but what will you be when you cannot pretend? Find out now by freeing yourself with self-surveillance. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming out.